Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by Dell's Outdoor Advertising. These guys are an institution when it comes to billboard advertising, traditionally or digital billboard advertising. They are represented from Pocatello all the way to Blackfoot, and they will tell you this is a great way, and I will tell you this is a great way to have top-of-mind awareness for your clients, your potential clients. There are some great things that still can be accomplished from billboards, even though we're in the Facebook and social media marketing, realms of the world right now. So if you contact Rob and you set up a 3-month deal to be on the billboard, he'll give you your installation for free, or your first month for free. Excuse me. And again, you can go to idahobusinesspodcast.com, click on their logo, their name, and find their information to get that deal rolling for yourself. And they are fantastic at it. So go see them today.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. We are here today happily with a friend and kind of a role model of mine, Dr. Willy. Warren, thanks for coming on the show and welcome.
Thanks, brother. You can call me whatever you want. I'm good.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, let's Warren, Dr. Willy. He is a board certified osteopathic physician. He did his postgraduate training at the Mayo Clinic. He's a founding diplomat of the American Board of Holistic Medicine and diplomat with the American Board of Family Medicine and the American Board Urgent Care Medicine and the American Board of Obesity Medicine. And along with that, he's a well sought after speaker. He's consulted celebrities and athletes around the world. This guy is, he's an author. On top of that, writing books as what does your doctor look like naked, Z Diet, T Club, and his newest is Obtainable. And there's a few more that I'm sure I didn't mention there. But he is an icon in his industry. I mean, he's not going to brag too much about himself, but I will do it for him. But this guy is the man. He knows what he's talking about. He's helping so many people, including myself, in their weight loss journeys, find the correct way to do it, because there's so many ways not to do it. And so, Dr. Warren Willy, appreciate you getting on the show, and welcome again.
Yeah, thanks, Spence. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So maybe let's start off with kind of how it all began with you. I read and and knowing you and knowing some of our mutual friends, as you were a boy, I believe you were 10 years old, you were suffering from asthma while playing with other children. And
or trying to. I couldn't breathe, so I never got to.
Sure. So how did that progress from starting at that point to like noticing maybe noticing there were some things different when you ate different things to kind of where you're at now in your profession?
It's a very lengthy story, and I won't bore your audience with details, but in summary, I weighed like 70 pounds at age 13, and my dad said, "You got to lift some weights." We lived in northern Colorado, where it's almost as windy as Pocatello, Idaho. And he would joke that he had to tie a kite string to my toe when I was outside because I was so little when the wind came up in Boulder, Colorado. So he had me start to lift weights. Well, starting to lift weights, I started reading everything I could about it, because that's what I did, because I couldn't do too much running around activity. I read a ton and started reading these bodybuilding magazines, these weightlifting magazines, and nutrition magazines. And I started to question, because they were really pointing out the importance of foods, not just macronutrients, but these certain foods have certain benefits and certain effects. And it clicks something in my head where I start to realize, man, I have really bad asthma attacks, or I wind up in the hospital if I eat this certain way, or if I eat this certain thing. And I remember asking my doctor at National Jewish Asthma Center in Denver, does it matter what I eat? He said, no, it doesn't matter what you eat. Eat whatever you want. And I called BS on him, and I stopped eating bread, for example, completely. My parents were like, they made pizza, and I'd scrape the cheese off and eat the cheese. And like, what is your problem? And I can breathe better. And that was my first introduction to the power of food. And I knew I always wanted to be a doctor. My first picture in the stethoscope was my 2-year-old Christmas present was a stethoscope. And my parents have a picture of me in that. And that's an old picture, by the way, brother. And so I've always wanted to have or become a physician. But all my training, Western medicine training and stuff said food didn't matter. And I think we're finally starting to realize, I guess food does matter. And now it's gone farther into, food is very hormonally controlling. Oh, by the way, your gut health has something to do with your overall health. Oh, and guess what? Food affects your gut. Oh, and you mean the immune system is related to your gut health, which means it's related to food. Huh. And all of a sudden we have all these pieces that are falling together that some of us that have been in integrated medicine for 25 plus years have been saying, no, Sherlock, we told you this. Food matters. And that's how the whole process came about, is really what are the lifestyle steps? What are the things I can do that controls and dictates my health? Because I think part of the other issue is our training as young people in America is trust the doctor, almost a shamanistic viewpoint of them. And I'm like, no, I'm not your shaman. I'll dance around in face paint if it helps you, but I'm not your shaman. Here's what you need to do to take care of yourself. And that's where we in integrative and functional medicine try to do. Okay, here's the underlying issues. Here's what you do about them, not what I do about it.
That is super interesting. And that's kind of leads us to, what one of your book titles, What Does Your Doctor Look Like Naked? And I forgot to mention, you're a renowned bodybuilder throughout your whole life. We've won many competitions. You definitely practice what you preach, and you're always game ready pretty much. So that's key right there, is you go to these other doctors out there, and they're over there, smoking outside their clinic, and they come in and tell you, you've got to lose a few pounds. So right. It resonates with me, who I'd rather see. So.
Yeah. And nothing against them. I think their heart's in the right place and stuff, but our training just does not focus on the nutrition or the power of food. I think it's starting to more and more. I've seen some medical school curriculums that have started to include it. But gosh, when I went through it, we were basically told food doesn't matter. Calories matter, they thought, for weight related issues, but no one talked about the foods. So that's changing, I think. And I think most of us are aware of that now.
That's very interesting. I listened to a podcast episode from one of my favorite guys I listen to is Ed Milet, and he had a guest on. I can't remember her name, but she was kind of the leading gal in gut health. And she talked a lot about how gut health can also affect your mental health. And that was a huge eye opener for me as well, which I'm sure plenty of. But she brought up the point of, they took a guy who had schizophrenia, and they refined some of his, I think it was just fecal matter, and it was able to process it and inject it in some of these rats as they tested. And some of these rats started to show signs of schizophrenia, and so, and then just talked about that, plus other things that you're putting into your body, good bacteria, bad bacteria that really affect your mental health as well. So that's it. I find it all super
huge subject. That's why we call your gut your second brain. If you look at you'll like this, Spence, if you look at all the neurotransmitters between your ears, and those are the things that control emotions, thoughts, happiness, sadness, all those things, chemicals like serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine, histamine, acetylcholine. If you look at all those, only 10% are between your ears and your whole body. The other 90% are in your gut.
Wow. So
your gut really is your second brain, and your gut bacteria process your hormones. So I learned a long time ago, because I do a lot of hormone replacement therapy, that if I want this wonderful woman's menopausal hormones to work well, I have to ensure her gut is healthy too, because everything is connected.
I love that. And then, being this podcast, being the, Idaho Business Podcast, we can kind of turn it to, sometimes as business professionals, and, you've been a business owner, you've been a business owner your whole life, and trying to be a business owner and a practitioner and a consultant and a coach and a national speaker, that all takes balance. And man, I've learned from the hard way is if I'm not physically fit and I'm not eating the right way, my mind is all over the place. I don't have the energy I need to be a good owner, be a good business owner, a good father, a good husband. But when that's all coming together and you spend that time in the gym and you give that energy to good foods that you're eating, it all literally just comes together. And I think too many people think, well, I can't be a good father if I'm spending all this time in the gym and preparing all these meals that take me so much time away from my kids. But really, it makes you a better father, I believe, or mother.
Yeah.
If you have everything together and you have that energy and that self-confidence that exudes, goes forward. So
I couldn't agree more. And business owners with the stress, the cost of goods, the cost of gas, really trying to find quality employees. Those of us business owners, our stress level has never been higher. And addressing that with bonbons and or vodka every night is not the way to do it. It will catch up with you and affect your business. So yeah, I agree. It's in medicine, we always say, doctor, heal thyself. And I think simply by just being aware of what's crossing your lips, it can really make or break your business. I mean, I would go as far as to say successful people in business take time to care for themselves too. And that's got to come first.
I believe it. I've always said, because when I started my business, I was in, peak condition. I was working with you and your dietitian, Jared, and I was doing these Spartan races. I felt like in peak condition. And I don't think I would have been able to go through all the stress and all the startup struggles of a business without having that in my back pocket, And then I lost that for a while. Now I'm slowly getting it back with your help and Jared's help, who's also been on the podcast. So.
Yep. Oh, it's powerful. We really do have control over our health, and it does not come in a pill form, unfortunately.
No.
Don't get me wrong, there's some great drugs out there, but Western medicine, we're really good about treating presentations or symptoms.
Yeah.
We forget about risks. So I may be able to lower someone's blood sugars, but they're still diabetic.
Yeah.
But you can reverse that diabetic if you approach it from a holistic standpoint that takes into account all the variables that make that up. And one of those things is not only the amount, but the type of food they're eating. So yeah, everything's come back around to we as patients or business owners or whatnot have control over it. And when we initiate that control, everything else in life really falls in place. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, I totally I recognize that in my life and everything else. So it's just huge having that all in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yes,
key.
It is.
And with, because I was part of that vicious cycle. I would go home, I'd be stressed, and I'd go buy, $10-20 worth of crap, chips and candy and stuff, and I'd eat at night, and I'd feel even worse. I'd go to bed feeling even worse, waking up feeling like I was hungover, even though I didn't have alcohol, and just not ready for my day. So,
oh, I tell you what, I think food hangovers are so much worse than alcohol hangovers.
Yeah, they're horrible.
I'm not encouraging either one. Don't get me wrong, but if I was to put them up against each other, food hangovers really hurt, and they seem to last longer, at least in me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they do. No, I agree. So, what would be some of your advice to some of these people that are business leaders, business owners that are just that they maybe they got 20 to 50 or more pounds that they're trying to get off, and they're stressed, and they don't think they have enough time in the day to do everything they need to do for their family or their jobs. What would be your maybe your best advice for those type of people?
Well, we forget. So think of this: if from the neck up, we know that we should eat less and exercise more, right? But from the neck down, that's nothing but a stress. That's a stress on our bodies. That's a stress on our brains. And so doing that to try to lose some weight is not the solution if you're already stressed out and trying to run a business. Trying to make the gym as often as you can and eating like a bird just leads to all sorts of issues, because that is a stress. That type of activity raises the stress hormone, cortisol, and increases what we call sympathetic tone, or your fight or flight mechanisms, which is already way too high because you own a business. And so I think the place to start is a balance, possibly seeing a medical practitioner that understands the hormonal effect of these type of things, oxidative stress, inflammatory issues. Because I've learned in a lot of years, more years than you've been around there, my friend, that if I tell someone that's stressed out, not feeling well, to go exercise more and eat less, one, they'll flip me off and walk out the door, or two, they'll put a good attempt to it and get worse.
Yeah.
So I don't do that. I tell them, let's fix these underlying issues. Let's get you feeling better, because when you feel better, you want to move more. And when you want to move more, that's a very positive cycle to be on.
I like that.
And so I would encourage them, seek out a functional medicine practitioner that understands from a cell level up what's going on, and doesn't just make you eat less and exercise more. Because we all know, I mean, every one of us know this, even though it's still argued out there in some certain circles, that calories, yes, are very important. But man, after the age of 40, they don't have nearly the weight as when I was 20.
Sure.
What has the weight that now that I'm 40 is, what's my underlying metabolic status? What's my inflammation? What's my oxidative stress? What are my hormones doing? Get those things fixed. And all of a sudden, these calories, a little calorie deficit in my diet, beneficial.
Yep.
And it doesn't stress me out anymore, right? So yeah, I think the best thing to do is get help feeling better first, and then get to the gym and watch your diet, if that makes sense. That's kind of a different approach, because others would say, no, eat right and exercise, then you'll feel better. And I'm going to be quick to argue with that. That's just increasing cortisol and causing stress. We got to do it the other way around.
I love it. I think the mindset's huge as well. With just, I used to be the type that, I'll do well all day long, and then I would mess up at night, and I would be, you idiot. Why would you do that? You screwed up your whole day. I'd make myself feel like just a total loser. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not being kind to myself. But once I realized that, and with help with Jared on my side, who is amazing, who's, I would recommend for anyone to go see. But those kind of positive people in my life, they're just like, no, things are not always going to be perfect. You're gonna mess up here and there, and it's okay. Take it day by day.
Yeah.
So, I read about a study a while back, or it could have been a podcast I listened to as well, where they did a test on these college students. They said, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a class, and you're going to have a refreshment choice at that class. You can either have a candy bar or a banana. And at that point, 2 weeks from that class, they're all, I think it was 85% of them said, yeah, I'll have a banana. And and it came a couple days before the class, and they're like, hey, just so you know, the class is coming up again that we told you about 2 weeks ago. You still have these two choices. What would you like? And literally, the people that wanted the banana, the 85% have now switched to the chocolate, because it's easier for you to be faithful and more motivated in the future tense than it is in the present, So I thought that was interesting too.
Very true. Yeah, there's been a few studies like that. And that, again, if you balance and adjust the hormonal inflammatory components first, you don't crave that stuff. Back to gut and brain issues. We all crave candy and chocolate because that increases insulin, which increases serotonin, the happy hormone in your brain. And so when you're overworked, underpaid, stressed out, have employees that drive you bonkers, Of course, a candy bar sounds good. It's like Prozac that
Yeah.
tastes well.
Yeah.
But if you get those hormones balanced out before you have that choice, you make the right choice. Hence to my whole argument earlier.
It's so true, because with me eating the way I'm eating now, with your guidelines and Jared's, it's night and day. There's no midday crashes, there's nothing. I feel like I can just continue to power through and get everything done I need to, where before, after a lunch or a big Euro or a nacho burrito at lunch, then you're passing out of your desk and wanting to go to sleep, no motivation.
Yep. Yep.
Perfect.
My business partner of almost 20 years always teased me, because in the medical world, well, not so much anymore, but we used to get, almost twice, 3 times a week lunch delivery by the pharmaceutical reps. And he loves to tell people that in all the years we worked together, he's never seen me eat it. And that's not a political, ethical statement. That's the fact I'm making my own food because I know how I feel, and I need to function another 8 hours after lunch. So I'm not eating that crap you just served.
It's so true, and it's just a vicious cycle, because like you said before, it's all emotional, and you get those hormones balanced out, and you really do start craving the right type of foods. And
oh yeah, you do.
I remember
I've made a lot of money off patients when I said, I bet you someday we can get you to the point where you crave broccoli. And they're like, oh, come on, doc. I was like, okay, if you do everything I say, which I believe you'll be honest, whether you are or not, you're going to come to me someday and tell me you crave broccoli. And guess what? If they've done everything we laid out for them, they come in and tell me, okay, you're right. How much do I owe you?
I love it. Coming from, I've tried them all. I've tried all the different diets. I've tried the fad diets. I've tried the meal plan, meal diets with the replacement meal bars and all that kind of stuff. And I've always been this all or nothing type of person, and I had to realize through help of, you and Jared and everyone else around me, that I'm like, this is literally a lifestyle change. There can't be any more crash diets. If I do this for a month before vacation, I'll be good, but then I'll eat like a pig on vacation and then onward. So I feel like this is a huge deal for me, that I feel like for the last 6 months, I'm finally fine-tuning, like, this is how I'm going to live going forward, because I feel so much better. So
nice.
And that's, I think, people are out there that are business owners and that kind of stuff, that you just got to get to that point that you're like, man, I'm tired of being overweight. I'm tired of being, this person that, you don't feel like yourself. So anyway,
right.
And that's where your books are so helpful. I remember when I first read Better Than Steroids, I didn't know anything about nutrition, really. And I read that, while I was in college. I was like, it's such an eye opener to me. It was just like, holy smokes, and I'm currently going through Obtainable. So it's just packed full of knowledge. And I would recommend anyone to buy these books, because they're very helpful on your journey.
Oh, thanks, brother.
So
yeah, it's fun to visit with you too in person, since we're all here in Southeast Idaho.
That's right.
My schedule's a little crazy, but I got a great team of nurse practitioners and stuff. So we all have the same thought. So there's a lot we can do to point people in the right direction.
Yeah, that's right. And I forgot to mention that. Yeah, you are the medical director over the Physicians Media Cares in Pocatello. So people, if your mindset and who you've also trained are there. So, well,
right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we had a great team. I could brag on all day, but it's just a different way to look at things. I think we have amazing doctors down here in Southeast Idaho of every specialty. I can brag on my group just because we do kind of put nutrition towards the forefront and just look at things slightly differently. And there's not always a drug or surgery answer, if you will.
That's very true. That's very true. I'm just glad you guys kind of give me the answer going forward, because my wife has called me a professional dieter for I don't know how many years.
I know a few of those.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's enter into the lightning round here, and then we'll finish up. The lightning round is sponsored by Dell's Outdoor Advertising. These guys do a phenomenal job with digital and traditional billboard space in and around Pocatello and Blackfoot areas. And if you give them a call and mention that you heard about them on the podcast, and you talk to Rob at 232-6886 and sign up for at least a 3-month deal, he'll give you your installation for free or your first month for free with their billboard packages. So give them a call, and let's get back to the lightning round here, Dr. Willy. All right. What's one of the best books / tools or software that you've read recently that's been kind of a game changer for you?
As far as medicine or business?
It could be all the above. It can be even personal, just, anything.
You know what? I read a ton of medical journals. I read a lot of technical books, textbooks. I'm kind of boring that way. I love Jordan Peterson's stuff. So every time he has something newer out, I try to jump on that. Really, lately, just because I'm finishing up a fellowship in herbology, it's been mostly just medical and technical textbook stuff. So stuff you'd read if you want to get a good night's sleep. I'll give you page 1, and you'll be out by paragraph 2. So yeah, I'm a little boring on that side of things, but that's the cool thing about my business is you can never stop learning.
That's
and
very true.
I love it because then I get to teach others, and we all learn something. So
that's right. I love it. Perfect. Well, what's one of the questions I should have asked that maybe I didn't, and what would be your answer to that question?
I think you hit on something earlier that we kind of touched on, and that's, as business owners, just taking care of yourself, giving yourself a break and taking time to be healthy. I think it's just like your kids, you can work your butt off for money, but your kids don't want money. They want you.
That's right.
And I think our businesses are the same way. We get so involved in making the next dollar that we forget about the underlying business, and the business is you.
That's
right? I mean, Spencer, your business grows because of you, not because you do amazing work, which you do, by the way, but it's you. And so I think when we take care of ourselves, our businesses, just like our families and our friends and everything else, follow. And I can't tell you how many CEOs and top execs and busy local business owners, and either are doctors, they come in here, I just look at them, shaking my hand and say, holy crap, dude. When's the last time you took care of yourself? Yeah. I'm about to set up a mortician in the back of my office with a few of these people I see. So, and it's all self-induced.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. If you're going to emphasize something, take the time to take care of yourself. Your business will benefit greatly.
I love that. And that's the thing too, is that, you're only going to be working for, a portion of your life. Hopefully, if you've done things right, and if you listen to your good financial advisors and that kind of thing, but you want life after your professional life. You want life to spend with your kids and your grandkids, and that life cannot be there, will not be there, if you don't take care of yourself right now.
Yep.
And I had to learn that the hard way. So.
Yeah. Well, the data's out there. Busy business owners usually live about 6 months after retirement.
Oh, geez.
That's plenty of data on that. They stop working and boop, 6 months they're dead.
Wow.
So, yeah, take care of yourself now.
That's an interesting fact right there. But yeah, that should be enough to motivate people right now to get out and start making some changes.
Well, here's what we business owners do. Gosh, that's good advice. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Or Monday. Monday I'll start. That was my thing.
Or I'll do it Monday. Yeah, whatever, buddy. Yeah, that's a terrible thing to say. Tomorrow or Monday.
Tonight I'm going to power through an entire pizza myself and 2 liters of cola, but Monday is the day I'm starting this thing.
Yep. Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
you just punish yourself all weekend long until you come Monday and you're so sick you can't even eat anything. So,
Yep.
yep, that's very true. So, well, Dr. Willy, appreciate you coming on the show. Hopefully, we can have you on again when you're not so busy. But if people want to learn more about you and maybe find some of your books and all that kind of stuff, I know they're on Amazon, but your website's the one you'd want them to be sent to, correct?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, it's drwilly.com, drwilley.com.
Perfect. And that's there's so much information there. There's master classes on there. There's everything you need to kind of start your journey to be successful. So again, thank you, Warren. We appreciate you, and you guys, everyone else out there, have a fantastic week. Know that you can do it. You can make changes in your life. You can make changes in your physique, in your mental health, all that kind of stuff. It just takes one day at a time. So again, thanks, Warren, and have a good day, everyone.
The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by New Clean Commercial Cleaning. This is my company, guys. I'm telling you, I'm not just because I'm the owner, the creator of it, but we are a great company for servicing your janitorial needs, your carpet cleaning needs, your stripping wax needs, all your floor maintenance needs. We are there for you. And everything is backed up by the "we're not perfect" guarantee. And if it's pretty much if you call and we don't get a hold, you don't get a hold of us, we will call you back within an hour and fix the problem within 24 hours, or the cleaning's on us. So that is our promise to you. And if you call or go into the Idaho Business Podcast website, click on the New Clean logo and book a janitorial solution huddle with us, and mention that you heard about us on the podcast, you'll get two free restroom floor cleanings for your office for free. Tile and grout in your restrooms will be sparkling clean. And that's the offer. Tell you, take us up on it. You won't regret it. There's no strings attached. So go see them today.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.